Okay, the last thing that I want to show you here with our look at the new features of Dreamweaver CS5 is something called the widget browser. And we'll take a look at exactly how the widget browser and Dreamweaver are going to talk to one another, and you can work between the two. Now, first of all, do you know what a widget is? Have you messed around with widgets inside Dreamweaver before? They're essentially, I guess I could say they're like an interactive object that would sit on your page. Now, what I mean by that is it could be something like an animated drop-down menu. It could be some accordion panels. It could be an image gallery, an interactive image gallery, something like this, right? All kinds of cool stuff. Now, what's cool here is the widget browser itself. You could think of as a platform, a community platform where different developers can share their widgets back and forth, right? And you can create your own and you can share them with the community as well. So this ties into the Adobe Exchange as well. Now, the widget browser itself is an Air application, so you're going to have to download and install it on your computer to get it working for you. I've already gone ahead and installed it on my computer. The installation process, by the way, is very simple, whether you're on a Mac or a PC. It's really, really easy. So I didn't want to bother taking up time actually showing you how to install it because it's pretty simple. But what I've done here inside Dreamweaver is I've gone and created a file called widget.html, and I just saved them into my local root folder. And then what I'm going to do is from the application bar across the top of the interface, I'm going to pop open this Extend Dreamweaver drop-down menu, and then I'm going to go ahead and choose Widget Browser. Now, this is where you would wind up once you get the widget browser downloaded and installed. Again, it's just a simple Air application. It's no big deal here. But here's the trick, though, is to actually make use of these different widgets. You're going to have an Adobe ID. You'll notice here right across the top, there's a little message here. You must be signed into the Adobe Exchange to preview and see widget details. So I'm going to have to go ahead and sign in here. So just give me a moment here. If you don't have an account, by the way, you can just click on Create an account. It's a free account. Let's get set up here. Type in my top secret password here. There we go. Sign in here. Now, as soon as I'm signed in, we've already really seen this already, whether we're signed in or not, but here's all of the available widgets. And as I say, there's all kinds of stuff in here, all kinds of great stuff. Google Maps, jQuery dialog, a UI button. I did spot, there it is, an HTML5 video player, extremely cool, 360 rotation viewer, all kinds of awesome stuff for you to play around with. Now, I did see one in here that I wanted to show you. There it is. It's a Lightbox gallery widget. So check this out. So in other words, I can hover over top here, and it gives me a little message here. This widget creates a sample Lightbox gallery. It's based on jQuery Lightbox plugin. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And this gives me a little bit more information. There's the author, there's the version, the posted date, the number of downloads, almost 30,000 downloads there. A little bit more info there down towards the bottom. Now, way up in the top right corner, I can click on Preview, and I would actually get a preview as to how this widget here actually behaves. So this is what they mean by a Lightbox gallery, and I'm sure you've seen this in your travels around the web. If you're not sure what a Lightbox gallery is, essentially we have a row or a column of thumbnail images, and when we click on those thumbnails, we get a larger version of the image showing up on top of the page layout. With a little close button, and you also get some next and previous buttons there as well. Pretty cool, right? Okay, now give me a moment here because I forgot to mention something. I'm just going to click the back to Adobe Exchange here. This brings me back out to the top level, if you will. Now, what we have to do if we want to make use of widgets and we want to use them inside our Dreamweaver pages is we have to add them to the My Widgets category there up at the top. I don't have any widgets at the moment here, so it's completely empty, right? So if I wanted to go ahead and use that Lightbox widget, I'd have to add it to My Widgets. So let's go and do that. So this is the fella. Oh, he just went and moved on me. Where the heck did he go there? There he is, the Lightbox gallery. This is the guy that I want, right? So this is the guy that I want to use. So now I have to click on Add to My Widgets down in the bottom right corner. Go ahead and click on that. And that's going to get loaded in there. And then I get this little dialog box. A widget has been added to My Widgets, blah, 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 blah. Go to My Widgets, or I could close. Well, what the heck, I'll go to My Widgets. So there we go. So now I'm back inside this My Widgets category, right? Which is great. Okay, now when you go and add a widget to the My Widgets, you can actually start to customize it, which is kind of cool. I'm not going to do any customization to mine, but I want to make you aware of this anyway. I'm going to go ahead and click on this guy once again, and it brings me into this, again, sort of this preview screen here where we have the live view. And by the way, you also get a code tab there as well, so you can check out all of the code that's needed to put this guy together. He's actually created out of an unordered list, if you can believe that. Anyway, this whole thing is just a list. Pretty crazy. Anyway, what I wanted to mention, though, is over on the left-hand side, oftentimes the developer or the author will create additional presets that you can use. So there, maybe you want a vertical menu or vertical gallery, I should say, instead of the horizontal, or maybe you want that orange background, right? But again, you can customize this if you want. I could click on Configure here down in the bottom left, and we actually get all kinds of options, like an insane amount of options here. Fixed nav buttons, resize duration, so that would be like the speed there. The gallery, I can set background colors, widths, padding. I mean, you can go through all these different settings and check them all out. I'm not going to waste your time going through every single one of them. It's all really self-explanatory. So you can set it all up, and then what you can do way down in the bottom right is click on Save Preset, and you can save your own custom preset, which you can, of course, go and use back in Dreamweaver if you want, right? It's pretty cool. I'm going to cancel out of this myself, but just want to make you aware of that anyway. Now, of course, Dreamweaver. How do we get this into Dreamweaver? Well, what I can do, there's a couple of neat things that we can do here, is I could click on Save Widget Files, and what I can do is I can actually download all of the files that are needed to actually run this widget. So any graphics that are used, any of the CSS that's used, any external scripts that are used, and so on. Now, I think I already downloaded this. I might get a warning here. I'm just going to re-download everything. Oh, looks like everything's fine there. So I re-downloaded all the files there. So whether you're using Dreamweaver or not, you can make use of these, which is awesome. Now, how do we actually get this onto our page back in Dreamweaver? Well, give me a moment here. I'm just going to pop back over to Dreamweaver. Remember, I have this widget.html, this lonely empty page here. So I want to go and drop that lightbox thumbnail gallery widget thingamajiggy onto this page, right? And we're going to do it through Dreamweaver's Insert panel. So I'm going to head up to the window menu and then down to Insert. There we go. This fella right here. And now make sure you're on the Common category up at the top from the drop down there. And of course, we have Widget, right? Widget. Go ahead and click on Widget there. Now, this is cool. This is how Dreamweaver talks to the widget browser or to the Adobe Exchange. Now, the widgets that I have available in My Widgets are listed in the first drop-down menu. Now, I only have one, right? You may have added a few. I have no idea. And then for the selected widget, how many presets do I have available? Again, remember, I didn't create my own preset. I just left the defaults. I canceled out of that. So I have default, orange, and that vertical white. So I can actually pull up any presets that are available, right? So I'm just going plain vanilla here, just the Lightbox Gallery widget using the default preset. I'm going to go ahead and click on OK, and boom, there's my widget gallery, my Lightbox widget gallery inside my Dreamweaver layout, right? Of course, isn't much of a layout. It's a blank page, but hopefully you get the idea here. Now, I'm going to go into live view here just to show you that I can actually get this working directly inside Dreamweaver, which is awesome stuff, right? Now, again, all of this is completely customizable, right? You can drop in your own graphics in a very simple way. Let me get out of live view here for a second. You could grab these individual thumbnails here and just use your properties inspector down at the bottom. So the source of this graphic, remember I downloaded all of the files? So the downloaded files, there's an images folder and then a file called lightboxdemo_5.jpg. So then I could go into my Files panel and look for images and Lightbox Demo 5, wherever that guy is in here somewhere. There he is right there. There's the large version and the thumbnail version, right? So that's the source of the graphic, and there's the link. It's just linking up to a JPEG as well, right? So I could either replace these images here inside the images folder, Or I could simply change the source and the link to point to my graphics, my thumbnails, and my larger graphics, right? It's really, really easy to work with. So anyway, there you go. There's a quick down and dirty look at the widget browser in Dreamweaver CS5. Have lots of fun with that one.